Welcome to Real Community Talks, a video and audio podcast dedicated to making real conversations with community influencers available to everyone. I'm your host, Matt DeSilva, and I meet with some of the dopest community influencers across the greater Toronto area who, maybe by the world standards, might be micro-level influencers, but I know are doing macro-level things. Stay tuned each Tuesday night as we dive into each guest's life, talk process, and get to hear their unique story which molded them into the person they are today. The stories you hear are not necessarily formulas for success, but examples of individuals who are making their dreams possible despite obstacles. I firmly believe that everyone has a unique story that could potentially change someone's entire perspective on their circumstance. I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome back to Real Community Talks, where we meet with micro-level influencers doing macro-level things. I'm your host, Matt DeSilva, and on today's episode, we have my guy, Harmanjit Khakh, on the show today. Harman, thank you for being on the show today, bro.
Thank you, brother, and good afternoon, evening, good morning, whoever's watching this at whatever time.
It's been a long time coming.
Yes, sir, indeed. I'm actually very excited to be here today because genuine talks, real talks.
So what made you, I don't know, because I've been following a bunch of people, or I don't know if I followed people or people followed me, but what kind of brought you to RCT?
Excuse me, sorry. Basically, dude, I think I was just like browsing Instagram one day and I found you. And
wow.
I was like, or I think you might have added me. I don't know, one way or the other. But then, as soon as I saw the content in terms of what people are saying and where I am at right now, it was like, okay, definitely. Like, this is... Yeah, no question. Like I have to either get knowledge about this or, keep following it. And I think one of the first videos I watched was that doctor who was there. I forgot his name.
Riaz.
Yeah. So, and then, from there on, consistently following. Then I reached out to you. I was like, hey, dude, I think I actually might be able to make a difference. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
And here we are. So
yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the show today, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
So for those two-ways people that don't know who you are, Harman is currently a student at McMaster U studying addictions education with a focus on psychological counseling and hopes to become a licensed counselor in the future. He's an active volunteer with PCHS, Punjabi Community Health Services, and also volunteered with Sikh Heritage Month.
That's every April, sorry.
He worked at Pearson Airport as a line service attendant and baggage handler, where you got to go work with some private jets and stuff.
Yeah, shout out to my rampies out there. I love you guys.
And among many other things, he is an influencer, an athlete, a communicator, a rap enthusiast, and someone who just desires to spread positivity wherever he goes. So before we get into kind of like the meat of everything, I noticed you got to meet Humble the Poet. So talk about that experience.
Oh, dude, that was awesome. I hope to do that once again in my life, too, because that guy is, obviously, we know how big he is.
Yeah.
But again, like I was volunteering at Sikh Heritage Month. There's a lot of people that saw him, of course. But for me personally, I mean, I just got his book maybe a month ago before I met him, right?
Oh, wow.
And I was in the process of reading that. And honestly, with this book, I'm keeping it for trips. So I've been on maybe 3 trips this past year in terms of flying. And I try to read every time I'm in the plane. I try to read them because it adds to the vibe of where you're going. Like, if something bad happens where you're going, think about the fact that you just read something that show you how temporary the negativity is. Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, like I mean, I was he just I guess he's somebody who kind of reassures and brings new energy. Yeah,
and I think he's definitely a relevant voice, and I think I started listening to him back in the days when there was like those ciphers with like Sonny Malton and
ain't no just us, it's just us. Rap a lot better around cops. We hush hush, we don't trust them.
Like all of these guys.
What was it? I think he was like doing one at the school nearby or something like that.
There's one where like they're like walking out of like the back of a car rolling out or something like that. There's like B Magic. There's like all those other guys.
Yeah, man.
Noise.
You know about Noise? Yeah.
Yo, Noise. I want you to come on the podcast.
Yeah. Noise. You hear me out here, bro? I need you to come out and meet Matt, please.
There you go. I want Noise and I gotta get Humble. So Humble's like, I'm working on getting some big guys. I'm trying to be relevant out here, but
Noise is I
dope lyricist.
Not even man. It's like when you look at like just common rappers throughout GTA and you think about underground rappers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I always tell him I'm amazed at how good he is, not even a lyricist, but as a damn rapper. He actually reminds me of, you know, the good old favorites of mine. Like, the guy has an insane flow. Yeah, and that's what you like. For me personally, like I want to listen to a rapper who has a dope flow. Your lyrics are great, but like when you look at the core of rap, you have a bar scheme and all that. And
and he's just philosophical, right? Like the thing is, don't get me wrong, like there's hardship that rappers talk about, but I mean, like he gets deep where you just like you have to rewind and be like, wow, what did he just say, right? Exactly. So with that, why don't we kind of segue into what's your origin story? So who is Harman and where are you from?
So born in Etobicoke, Ontario. I've been around a lot of places actually. So basically I was born in Etobicoke, and then we went out to Orangeville when I was a kid, and I came to Brampton probably when I was I came to Brampton when I was in grade 3, middle of grade 3, and from there on it's been past 17 years in Brampton. Yeah. And I'm grateful for it because I've met life-changing people. I have my greatest friends right now that I got the pleasure of meeting when I came to Brampton. And I'm talking, these are probably lifelong friendships, man. So I'm grateful for that. And other than that, I mean, I'm addicted to positivity, energy, and sports. I'm a sports freak. And also rap. Yeah. And so basically the positivity, energy, it comes from rap and sports. So I'll give you a quick story here. So back when I was in middle school, we had a football team. And this is where sports became big for me. Because I was we had a flag football team. I was on the team for 3 straight years, luckily. Not a big role though, but you know, just that experience was something that stays with me for my life because that's when I learned discipline. And I'm so grateful to learn discipline through sports because sports is my biggest outlet in terms of not even stress reliever, just general outlet. It's something that really brings me back to me, who I am. Yeah. And our coach was Mr. Crab, and he was actually a player on the Alouettes at one point. Wow. Yeah, Montreal Alouettes. Jeez. And dude, that guy was literally like, he's somebody who military style, like he's yelling at you, and I loved every bit of it. I loved it. Like, you know, one of the biggest stories I remember, I think we were in grade 8, it was our final year, one of our teammates, and I don't want to mention names because for other people's privacy, for sure, but like I look at him today, I still see him around sometimes, or like I see him on IG and stuff, and he's doing great. And I still look back at him and it's like, we were doing a drill and he was running us to the ground, and by grade 8 you're used to it, right? But I still, like, you know, of course it still gets to you. You're like, oh shit, what's he gonna do today? And I remember we were like getting run to the ground, and 2 things happened. He knocked the wind out of one guy. Oh wow! By running us so hard. I'm talking, these were insane, intense drills, dude. But and as much as I loved him, I don't know if everybody else did, but he was so he knocked the wind out of him. But it was dope because our team picked him up in the sense that, so I don't remember, of course, how many he had left in terms of repetitions on whatever running drill we were doing. Yeah. But we all picked him up in terms of, okay, if you had 6 left, one guy does it, 2 guys, get your breath back. And that stays with me for life because that teamwork and that, look, I got your back, that means everything to me. And that's why sports are such a big thing for me because, sports and rap, because if you look at, I guess this is a wordplay, but when you look at humanity, it's a human in unity, right? Facts. So, and then you look at rap, you have individuals like Cole, Kendrick, M, and you know, the list goes on and on. You have local rappers, you mentioned Noise and Humble, and everybody, and you have humans sharing their stories, sharing their personalities, and uniting other human beings with them. So, true. For me, it's rap's basically that big for me. It's like, you know, there's a human sharing the story, and through that story or through those lyrics, you are uniting other human beings. And how amazing! Like, if you take that in, like, how amazing is that, dude? Yeah, come on, like, you're telling me you're writing down words. Yeah, beats are great, but you're adding words to somebody else's life, and they relate to you. Yeah. It's and that's the benefit of social media and mass media is the ability to connect with people. Like
we met through social media, right? Like I could be, there's probably some like for some reason there's like 860 downloads from California. I've never met any of those people, but they're engaging with the content. Shout out to Cali. But one of the things you kind of touched on was how sports taught you discipline, and it's an important concept to you. And I mean, I may get some flack for this, but like I was listening to Gary Vee, and he was talking about how like a lot of sports teams gives out participation trophies, instead of just giving out like you're either win or you lose. Yeah, exactly. And it's not to say that you don't want to be so rude to the kid, but it's like sometimes we coddle kids at a developmental age so young that we don't teach them reality of real life. So I think that's so cool. Is just like it kind of translated into your life today.
It's pretty cool how you mentioned that, because one of my best friends, he actually, we had this debate last week in terms of this upcoming basketball season. Everybody knows the Warriors got more stacked. And, we were just talking about, is it even worth watching the Western Conference? Or is it even worth watching the playoffs? And, he had a point of, it's all about winning and losing at the end of the day. But for myself, I like to see the guys that are skilled too. Like, it's for me, it's all about, okay, this dude's playing amazing defense. And like, I respect LeBron, don't get me wrong, but I can't wait to see somebody shut him down.
100%. Especially like some of these young guys coming from the draft. Like, man. Everyone's expecting like for them to get bullied by the like, for instance, I think when Lonzo first came and they were facing the Phoenix Suns, like he just scooped by Chandler. And like exactly what you said too. Like I like for instance, Devin Booker on the Phoenix Suns. Like the Phoenix Suns, they suck. Right. But I mean, Devin Booker is a player that I'm going to follow for the rest of his career. Right.
He has that Mamba in him.
Yeah.
Kobe's my favorite guy. So I mean, hey. Love you, Kobe.
So in your IG bio, you have HP and you often tag it in your posts. So what does that stand for?
I can't share that with you because I feel that I'm too busy living it. And it's something I would love to share with the world at a point where I would hopefully love to be somewhere in the future where I could impact a lot of people in a positive way. And at that point I would mention it because it has such a big meaning. And but at the same time, I honestly just post it for me. And I'll share it with personal people, of course, that look, and I'll still tease them with it too. I'll be like, hey, HP, haha. It's something that really summarizes the person I am. And for me personally, it brings me back to my roots. It's my biggest reassurance. I just went to India this past summer. For a short while, but I got the biggest reassurance out of that trip. And I'll guess I'll give you a little bit of a hint. It stands for Harman's purpose, but it doesn't stand for Harman's purpose.
Okay.
So it's exciting, man. It's something that gives me a lot of energy. And I'm glad I discovered it about a while ago. I'll say that, and it's my purpose.
That's cool though, because a lot of times in this social media generation, we just want to announce and talk about things, and you're waiting to capitalize on the right moment.
Well, it's not. I guess I mean,
or like when you're ready.
It's not.
You gotta feel it.
I don't even worry about capitalizing, to be honest with you. It's more just I want to make sure that I have something for me first, right? Like we live in this world, where everything is so social media based and all that. And I am honestly old fashioned. Like I don't. The only reason I stay on social media right now, like all I have is Instagram. And
I noticed.
Only reason I stay on it is because sports. I get to if I miss highlights at night, I'll watch them. And mental health stuff. I love to feed my mind through. And there's some memes and stuff. Of course, we love memes.
And RCT.
Yes, of course. And that goes with the mental health, though.
Okay.
So,
true.
I honestly, no, dude, I take some of your episodes, and instead of listening it from a business perspective, I take it as a mental health perspective. 'Cause I mean, look, dude, this is real people sharing real conversation, right?
And that's the whole thing is, one thing that my goal is with the show is to show the holistic side of everyone, because there's the business I talk about, like their come up, I talk about depression, I talk about faith and culture, like all of these things make you who you are, right? So I don't want to just be a one-sided type of show, right?
Well, actually, that's the other thing. Like, I wanted to actually mention that, I wanted to ask you one thing, actually, Matt. What do you give power to?
What do I give power to? Wow. I don't know if I've ever been asked a question on this show. I don't know if I'm used to this. What do I give power to? I give power, for me, I give power to God, to Christ. That's me. Christ leads me and guides me in what I do. If there was no power dynamic, I'd be all about myself and be making my own decisions. But the life of a Christian and the life of my faith is giving up yourself, is dying to yourself every day, choosing to follow Christ and follow that ways instead of your heart's natural desire.
Gotcha.
Because I'm living to a standard that I believe I'm called to. So in a sense, that way I'm giving away my power to that. So
I respect that a big time, big man.
Yeah.
But see, my thing is that, so looking at social media and then looking at real life. So when you look at social media, you have people who have a page like yourself, or you have multiple other meme accounts, whatever. Now they generate power from likes, views, all that stuff that you're supposed to. And you know, I just, like, one day I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, how many people actually don't look at that and actually get power from themselves, or get like, when you wake up in the morning, yeah, you have a schedule, you're gonna get to life and all that, but are you giving yourself power to get to those things? You know what I mean? Like, and that's when it comes with, like, that's when I try to mention mental choice. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's where the discipline in sports came from.
Yeah.
Like that mental choice of, okay, look, dude, I might have had a bad day yesterday. It's a new day. I have things to do, of course, and you have 24 hours in front of you. And I don't think a lot of people understand that.
It's true.
Dude, if you wake up at 8 in the morning, okay, and you're in a bad mood, you still have 12 hours. I suck at math, so just help me out. So I mean, yeah, so like you have all that time throughout the day to fix your mood, mainly fix your mood, and give power to that. Like, dude, actually put power towards saying that, okay, dude, no, my personality does not deserve a bad day today. But, and I understand though, that's a hard thing to do. And that breaches off to education as well. This is where I hate the school system. You know, this is where I ask kids, or sorry, I'll ask anybody. Here, I'll ask you another one. Do you trust your intelligence? How often do you tell yourself that?
How often do I tell myself, do I trust my intelligence? I don't know, because I'm an experiential learner. So I don't necessarily believe in just like, it depends. There's different types of intelligence, right? So like I said, I'm an experiential learner. I do my job and serve and do everything out of experience. If we're talking about intelligence, we're being taught. There's many things that teach you. I trust my intelligence of, like I said, what my experience. I don't necessarily trust my intelligence from the school system.
Okay, so let's focus on the school system though.
Yeah.
Okay, you're aware you're in the system, and obviously we all hate it. But you know, one thing that really drives me kind of insane is I know so many damn intelligent people, man, but because they're in such a competitive field, trying to get what they wanted to get, or you know, pursuing what they want to pursue, they forget to just understand that they're intelligent. Like, I know people who are cramming, studying all night, and yet they can be a zombie and get an 80. I don't think, like, you know how big that is? Like,
it's true. Like I'm a big procrastinator. I can make it work and get a good mark, but it doesn't mean that I've gained the knowledge.
Well, not even that, man. It's also like the fact that, dude, the fact that you can get an 80 or 90 or whatever, like a great mark, and you're not even 100% you. I think that's astonishing.
That's
like,
crazy.
If you sit back and look at the simple fact that, dude, you're that intelligent, capable.
Well, like often I saw something that we don't actually access the entirety of what our brain can possess, or that's
or
the potential of it, right?
So that's why that's what we call going with life, right? Because we have so many things going on. And I understand, I'm not saying you're not supposed to and all that good stuff, but at the end of the day, you as an intelligent person deserve to sit back and be like, okay, dude, realistically speaking, let's break this down. Typing can take you max an hour, if like depending on your speed or whatever. Yeah. But taking down notes, not much of a, you know what I mean? Like I kind of got this from the fact that you look at it when you actually have a job and you're gonna go work. You're gonna go to work. You know what I mean? Like, of course you might have a break and whatnot, but idea at the end of the day, when you wake up in the beginning of the day, you're saying, look, I'm waking up to go do a job. Okay, you're not sitting around or whatever have you. You might be sitting actually at work, that's fine, but in your head you're getting up because you have a job. And at work you work. So with school it's the same thing. Right? Like you paid money and you're working. Right? Unfortunately you're working for a stupid system. But hey, like, it goes back to that's one of my main points. Like, you gotta please, people who are listening to this in your first year, second year, whatever have you, just please sit down and trust your intelligence. Like that, I can't reiterate that enough or emphasize that enough, because honestly, your brain does not deserve half the stress that you're putting out there.
Yeah.
And I don't blame you for it. I understand. Even if you're in a competitive field and all that, I understand it completely. But please sit down. Look at the fact that you've been in school for 16 plus years. Look at your marks. That should tell you right there enough. That's enough to tell you that, okay, look, I can afford to not stress.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
I'm capable of typing a damn paper.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that people are not capable or anything like that, but yeah, main point.
So I noticed that you put that you actually went to college before you went to uni.
Yes.
So what program did you do there, and then what caused you to kind of do the university route?
So I look back at it, it's kind of funny. When I was in grade 12, I was basically just riding a wave of business that, there were so many things going around, and at that time, I felt my personality it could fit in a business environment, but I wasn't that mature. I'll be honest, and I went into marketing. I don't regret it at all or anything like that. It was a great experience, of course, but I just, as soon as I got into college, I realized how much I hate the system, in the sense that, but I look back at it, I also wasn't enjoying what I was doing.
Yeah.
I tried to make the most of it, for sure. I love the communication aspect of it. I loved going and do an interview with somebody, or, put my communication skills out there. I loved presenting. So that was one of the biggest things that really took me to it, to be honest with you. And then I finished that in 2 years. And I actually kind of hated the system so much. And I was like, you know what? No, I can't do this. Like, I'm suffocating myself. Then I went to work. So I went to work at the airport. And my life changed so much positively because I really needed that mentally. I needed that. Physically, I left with a little mark of a shoulder surgery. But, I mean, it was all part of the fun that I won't ever forget that experience. Yeah. And so basically, I reassured grind, grit, discipline, and all that great stuff. I loved it, dude. I made the most out of that experience. I loved every bit of it. I was surrounded by amazing people, and amazing people. Every day I wanted to go to work. And the only reason that I really wanted to stay at work was because of the people I was with.
Wow.
Dude, no, honestly, man, it was a party every day. I mean that in the sense that, man, like we made the best out of it. It was such a horrible job. Like, if you look, no, I'm not like
people make it great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, it's physically, it's overbearing, man. It just drains you. But the fact that you had those guys with you every day, and girls, there's some girls, yes. Yeah. You had those people around you every day. You're just like, all right, let's go punching. Yeah. 16 hours? Good, let's go, man. Go 16 hours every day of the week. I don't care. It was fun. And I paid for it, I guess, in a sense, because I had shoulder surgery last year, as I was mentioning earlier. And that was the biggest change now, because basically the last 3 years, I've been just physically grinding. And here's another thing. I may be wrong, but, when people think about the word grind, I think majority of people think physical grind, like, oh, I'm out there doing something.
Fitness,
but exactly. And now I was put in a position where I had to mentally grind, because I didn't have no physical outlet. I didn't even have my sports. Wow. So, mentally I was just sitting there after my surgery. I was like, okay, this is gonna be rough, but you can do it because you have a passion. Yeah. And this is where emotional intelligence comes in, and this is what got me to my current adventure at McMaster. I'll call it an adventure, because I don't want to call it school, because that just sounds.
That's what I was wondering, because you're like, I hate the system, and then you went back to school.
Exactly. So basically, what dragged me was, while I was doing checkups for my shoulder, my doctor told me, "You're actually an intelligent kid," and I never really looked into that before, because I was more like, I was so busy hating the system, I didn't even think about my intelligence. Wow. And that's what I mean. Now this
makes you hate.
Exactly.
Makes you think you're dumb or not qualified.
Well, not even. It wasn't even dumb. It was just more that, look, this place is full of people who hate what they're doing, and you easily become so negative. And I don't think education should be like that. Yeah. Or when you're learning something, it shouldn't be like that. And so, it's funny. One of my friends, they told me that, look, I'd never think you'd say you're going back to school, when I told them I'm going back to school. Yeah. And basically, when my doctor told me that, look, dude, you're actually an intelligent guy. And it made me think. I was like, wait a second. So then, I started reading up on emotional intelligence, and things of I always knew I had a passion for psychology, and then my sister pointed out a program to me. I was like, oh well, then hey,
yeah.
And as soon as I could type after my surgery, I was like, all right, let's go. And I've been there now I started in January 2017, sorry 2018, and I'm done February 2019.
Wow. See, like this is something that I always stress is the fact that you're putting certain individuals under a certain set of rules and standards and testing schemes that would say, okay, if you get a D, that means you're just not fit for school. Yeah, exactly. But your intelligence could be emotional. Your intelligence can be in multiple ways, or the way that you communicate, like you said, is different, or the way that people express it, or maybe someone's more of a hands-on learner. So the amount of people that fail school, but are just brilliant people. I mean, look at some of those brilliant minds. They left school. Like you got Steve Jobs. You got Mark Zuckerberg, right?
Yep.
They weren't confined within a system that told them they were smarter.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, they realized that, look, there's more to this. There's more to me. And again, that might be one of the reasons why I hate the education system. So I'm not saying everybody hated it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything negative. I hope nobody perceives it in that way. But it's just at the end of the day, what really matters is you understand you.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to this guy because he's battling a cold right now and he's still here on RCC. So.
No, I was it's 'tis the season, unfortunately.
So beyond just that interest in emotional intelligence and looking at that program, now that you're in it, why this program?
Oh man, honestly, dude, after my first set of classes, I was so excited. I love the content in which I'm studying. Yes, I actually pulled up some pretty ballsy moves throughout these last couple months. So basically, there was one class I had, and it had to do with case management.
Yeah.
My first assignment, and when you look at like the content of, so basically for my school, they lay out all the assignments for you already. That you have due dates. Yeah. Each month you have one assignment due, and that'll take you 5 months. Like one assignment each month. Yeah. 5 months. So one of my classes was case management. And when you look at the rest of the assignments, I was actually really excited about this course because it looks at exactly what you think of when you think about case management. Yeah. But the first assignment really pissed me off because it had nothing to do with the rest of the 3 assignments or 4 assignments. Yeah. And I actually sat there, man, and I was like, no, I'm not accepting that. No. So I did this ballsy thing where I basically did maybe a quarter of the assignment. Yeah. Okay. And I emailed my prof. I'm like, dude, I honestly, this is sound crazy to you, but I told her I don't like the assignment at all. But this is what I found interesting about it. And this is what I feel feeds my mind. It makes me want to actually pursue I don't want to say participate in the assignment because you have to participate obviously or something. But this is what makes me want to do it. And she actually respected that. Wow. I was like, you're telling me there's an option? And basically, so... Yeah, and of course I got a bad mark on that because I had a quarter in. But the rest of the way through, I got like 90s and 80s. Wow. And again, I'm not much for numbers, whatever, but it was that 90 and 80 was more like, okay, this is mine. This is what I am in this field. Like this is the potential I have. Yeah. And that passed along to the rest of my courses. My rest of my courses were what else did I have? I had case management, group work, and something like that. But and honestly, I've maintained in my opinion, I've been doing great. I mean, I averaged probably a 78 or something like that. Yeah, yeah. That's more than enough for me. Sure. My biggest thing, Matt, is when I hand in my assignments, I'm looking for what the prof has to say about my work. You know what I mean? So every time I handed an assignment, I got a comment that would say at least, okay, great point. I understand this. And that's all I care for, to be honest with you. I don't care if my citation is missing something, because at the end of the day, I don't have time to copy something else when I have textbooks that I paid for. You know what I mean? Like I don't have time to sit there and be like, yeah, I totally got this off Google, but I mean, you gave me a big resource thing that weighs like a ton and cost me like $500 and I did not use that because come on, are you serious? And so like that goes on to, so I'll give you another funny story. My last assignment, I didn't like my last assignment at all, but I still got like a 78 or something on that. And I know I might sound a little bit I might sound a little bit hypocritical when I'm mentioning numbers right now, but that's just, I'm using them as not a measure, just to show that even even if I didn't like it, I still, you know, got something, in my opinion, good. Now, yeah, for the last assignment, I finished the whole thing. When I submitted, I put in my email. I'm like, look, my professor was awesome. Great professor. Great prof. I love him. And I told him, like, this assignment was very, give me a negative adjective. Disappointing.
Disappointing.
Yeah. So this, I literally, like, it's my first sentence. I'm like, I love this course, but this assignment was very, very disappointing.
Yeah.
Especially a way to end this course off.
Wow.
And I listed him the reason. And I didn't even think about my mark at the point. I was just telling you because I genuinely love this stuff, dude. Like, the content that I read every day, it's like, this is brain food. Yeah. I love sitting down in the library with my headphones on, hip hop going on, and I'm just freaking like, dude, that's literally how I study. I have my instrumentals. I have instrumental beats on. Yeah, like I've searched them on YouTube, and I'm literally just sitting there like this all day.
Does that help you memorize more? Like, not that you have to do tests at all, but like for me, I guess there's those things where like if you attach like reading to some other form, like music, it
exactly you, right? So I mean, of course I don't think I could ever be a rapper or anything, but like it just takes me into that idea of I kind of still do, but when I do writing for myself, I've always done it to either Eminem or J. Cole. And of course I just take it as I put my mindset to that, like, dude, there's a nice beat going on. I always like music when I'm studying, to be honest with you. And I know, and the fact that I know I'm not studying for a test is much more easier. So I'll have a nice beat going on and I'll just flow. Like, I'm just flowing all day. And that's that. Like,
for sure. You actually wanted to, before we get back into some of the questions, you wanted to talk a bit about sports.
So basically, like I told you with my surgery, right? So one of the biggest things I told myself mentally this year was, put your sports mindset to school now to get that discipline, because obviously it's hard for me. Right? So I told myself, like, dude, approach this as you would would with sports. And I'll be truthfully honest with you, man. Like, now it's September. We're 3 weeks away from puck drop. This is where my life gets so organized, because every day I'm gonna wake up and I'm going to say, okay, look, let's go conquer the day. And at the night, you're going to treat yourself by sitting on that damn couch and watching either the Raptors or the Leafs. And that's the best thing ever. And on the weekends, you got the Patriots. So I'm very excited for that, of course. But yeah, like,
I could see by your sweater.
Yeah, of course. In my life, L4L. And, you know, at the end of the day, that mindset was tricky as hell. But I slowly, when I started conquering it, I was like, okay, great, this is what I want. I developed a flow. And like, that's what and so when I go back to middle school and having those disciplinary drills, I take those small drills and I keep them in my life, keep them relevant to remind me that, okay, look, dude, I've been ran to the ground once and I got back up. So what the, you know,
this
like,
is just an essence,
exactly. You could, and then that really brought me to the fact that I kind of have this personal thing where I say, you know, my negativity in my life is temporary. And it's true, but, and I mean, positivity is temporary as well, but of course, good outweighs the bad, right? So, you know, this past year, I would probably, if I wasn't so disciplined, I would tell you, oh yeah, it's been a horrible year and all that. No, but it's actually been a life-changing, amazing year.
That's awesome.
Like, something that was really negative happened to me, which was my surgery. I turned that into a blessing and went back to school. I've been conquering school, kicking school's ass. And now, as I'm sitting at home, I understood more about my body and how I want to go back to the gym and work out better. And I'm excited for that whenever the hell it happens. Just waiting for clearance. And so that whole process of mentally actually understanding where I am, being introspective, and really slowing down was so necessary. And I'm so grateful for it, dude. Now I put myself in a position where I'm excited. Straight up, dude. That's
good.
The best way to put it.
Yo, not too many people can say that about their year. And it's like everyone waits for their New Year's resolution, which they never capitalize on, right?
That's another point, because I truly feel that you should trust your age, man. Like, if there's any youth right now listening to this at any point or anything, if you're in your first year, trust your age at right now. Like, trust the experiences you're gonna have in this first year. Trust the fact that you're either 19 or 20. Like, I know we're all in a rush to grind. I know almost everybody has a job these days, Matt. You know what I mean? Like, And I understand that. Of course, you have your responsibilities. You're providing for yourself, for your family, etc. But if you're struggling right now and you're young, the fact that you're young is dope. And that's one of the biggest things I realized about myself this past year. I was like, oh, I might be struggling right now, but I'm only this age, dude. What am I? Yeah. Come on. Are you kidding me? Like, you're telling me I should be panicking at this age? Yeah. Especially when I'm not even like 27 or anything right now. And that's when this past year, I guess I'll put another bar on it. I'm really learning to put the man in Harman. Because it's about maturing and disciplining, and I like that. I think those are the true things that you really need to understand, especially at this age. Right now you're going to step into close towards 25, 27, 30. You know, if you put in those steps now, you're building. And you know, daily, and it might sound unhealthy, but the way I attack my brain with the word discipline is crazy. And I lose a lot. I lose a lot with myself, and it drains me, of course, but I always have reassurance for every time I'm drained. So sometimes I don't, and that's fine. And that's also really humbling and realistic as well, because you gotta know too, like, dude, okay, maybe you tried way too much. Just go take a nap. Take a lap, kid. Take a lap.
So when I asked in the prelim what your favorite quote was, you said it's hard to narrow down a favorite quote, but to ask you about your favorite rappers and inspirations instead. So
you want me to give my top 5? Is that what you want?
Well, no, we'll leave that for thing. But like who in rap, or even someone that's non-rap, that you resonated with, or someone that's that inspires you?
Okay, so right off the bat, Eminem. Right off the bat, I've been through depression and all that good stuff. I call it good stuff because it honestly
perspective.
Exactly perspective. Eminem. Of course, a lot of people love him and relate to him and all that great stuff. And on me, on personal note, there was I would say maybe 3 tracks that really stand with me, because I lost my grandparents in high school.
Sorry to hear that.
No, it's all love. And here, I'll tell you about that in terms of why I say it's all love. Now, at that time, I discovered his song "You're Never Over," and it was for Proof.
Yeah.
And even today, he still lives with Proof. And that's the point I want to make, because I learned this probably in the last... Okay, so I was watching Big Bang Theory about a month ago, okay? I love that show. Now, it was the episode where... spoiler alert! It was the episode where Howard's mom dies.
Oh, okay? Yeah.
And, you know, at the end, they're all sitting together collectively talking about the good memories they have with his mom. And that made me think about us in our personal lives. Like, okay, if we lose a loved one, because we genuinely love them so much, their physical presence is gone, but they're a part of you.
They know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then if you take that at a grand stage, you can think about humanity. We lose a lot of people, yes, but when you genuinely love somebody or love something, it becomes a part of you. Yeah. And that's the dopest. And that's how, and in my opinion, that's how you carry on humanity. Because, you know, I lost my grandparents, and I'll honestly say I was probably immature. That's why I was not so strong about it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't cry when you lose somebody. Please let your emotions be. 100%. Understand them, let them out whatever way you need to. But, you know, as I grew older, I realized, okay, this part of me is from my grandpa, this part of me is from my grandma. And, you know, I recently had another loss in my family, and even that reassured the point to me. Like, I wasn't really sad, because I genuinely loved this person, and they're a part of me, and I'm kind of keeping them alive in that sense, right? Yeah. And
you're upholding their legacy.
Exactly. And, you know, to be honest with you, there's people in my life right now that have gone through losses, or you know, they're on a potential, I don't know what's the best way to put it, but anyways, they might experience that. And, you know, when they tell me about this person that they love, the first thing that comes to my mind is, okay, even if, of course, we want everybody to stay forever, but when they do pass away, I've met this person, and that's amazing to me. Like, you tell me you love your grandma and you describe her to me. I've met your grandma just because of your genuine love.
Wow, that's powerful.
You know what I mean? Like, and it kind of reminds me of what Kendrick Lamar said. Like, all we're here to do is love, and that's what I love to like. That's one of my biggest things, man. I love love, straight up. I'm not even,
I like that.
What are you gonna call me, a sissy? I love love. What are you gonna do about it?
Nah, people attach certain emotions to certain genders, man. We're all human.
I mean, I look past that, man. It's not. It's for me. It's more like just be self-aware to the point that you understand what emotion you're dealing with and how much you're putting into it.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the first things I understood. And rap was, of course, the biggest thing for me when it comes to emotional intelligence, because, like I said, I sat down, and when I was depressed, I wrote down Recovery, the whole album, in one of my books, like lyric for lyric. And I resonated in, okay, how can I relate to this? If I'm in this type of mood, how can I, this guy's putting his story out there for the world, And same thing with J. Cole. The 2014 Four Still Drives, same thing. And that's a big part of my positivity.
For sure. So like we talked about in terms of like what holistically makes up people, one thing I always like to ask on the show is, if any, what role has faith played in your life? And I noticed that something you said in your prelim was that you respect religion, but you don't follow or get involved. So why is that?
So I have this belief that my God had one responsibility with me, that was to put me on the planet. Now, me living my life is my thank you to him. You know what I mean? Or,
okay. Yeah, for sure.
God, maybe. And when I look at religion, it's like, my religion is honestly love. Like, because religion, for me personally, being a Punjabi individual, and the religion in my culture is Sikh, a Sikh, right? A Sikh. And we have divine history, man. Like, of course, like every religion. But I just prefer to respect that and learn from it, of course, on my own. But I won't follow it just because it comes with my personal beliefs. And at the end of the day, my biggest belief is the fact that, look, one beautiful thing about my culture is the fact that our names come out of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which is basically, it's a holy scripture that really defines our religion and how it was made and all that beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
And our names come from that book, right? So, and my interpretation of that is, look, the fact that your name comes from one of the holiest things in your culture is powerful. Yeah. And I mean, obviously everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but when you look at your name, your name can be broken down in several different portions, and your name literally comes out of the scripture, and there's a meaning to it. Yeah. So if you're ever lost in life, you can understand that your name has a meaning, and why don't you go live it?
Yeah. No, I like that, because it's something that I've a common thread that I've had through when I ask this question is, especially younger generations like us, like, we're not just subscribing to something or doing certain things out of like tradition,
like zombies.
100%. Exactly. Like robots, right? Yeah. But we're like, for me, and I say this with Christianity too, like, the reason I believe in what I believe, like, I'm someone, regardless of whatever religion, I believe in the most authentic connections we have is through relationship, right? So that's where I place my faith and my belief. Yep. So I choose to believe in something that, one, is a relationship, it's two-way, and I found it for myself, not just because my parents took me to church every Sunday, right? So I respect that answer too, because a lot of people will just follow that. And I had this girl named Manveer, and she 2 weeks ago or last week? A few weeks ago. Yeah. And she said the same thing too. She's like, a lot of people just think going to the temple or going to the church is doing your thing and you're holy. No. Nah, but like, I really like what you said. You said, me living my life is a thank you to God. And if you're grateful to that God, and you're living your life in a way that honors that God, or pays homage even through your name and everything, like all the multi levels of that, that's true. Like, we don't often see our life as giving honor to whatever we're doing. So there's this thing that I heard, it says, you're representing them, but you're representing them, right? So to play on that word.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. Bars. Yeah. No, I mean, religion is purity. So, I mean, I'd rather try to be a pure human being instead of being involved with people saying that there's a certain party, or like like division. Exactly. So I mean, I feel that's the best way to be a humble, pure person.
For sure.
Shout out to Humble the Poet.
Yeah, shout out. So last question before rapid fire: if you could go back in time, what would you tell grade 9 Harman just about to enter high school? If you can go back into a time machine and warn him, or even say something, encourage him, what would you say?
Nothing.
Really?
Go experience, do it all again. I'd love to go back and do it the same way. Wow. Same exact way.
I like that.
Exact same way. Because look at where I am today, and that's a big part of it. I met people that changed my life in the most positive way. I'm so grateful for that. I had experiences where I was broken down. I had experiences where I learned how to be introspective. Like, if I look back at it, man, I think grade 11 or grade 10 was the first time that I actually without even knowing it, was introspective. I started in high school, dude. I was literally somebody who was very outgoing. Yeah. Like you would probably see me flying in the cafeteria from table to table just because I knew a lot of people. Yeah. But it's my personality. I'm energetic. I'm outgoing.
Yeah.
Sue me. And at times, at that time, of course, I was immature. I couldn't understand myself, and I used to think it was a negative thing. But now that I'm matured and I'm maturing still, and I'm still growing, I think of it as a great positive thing, because now I'm at the point where I can select who I want to be outgoing towards or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that everybody doesn't deserve my presence or whatever. I'm not trying to say anything like that. But my main point is that now I can pick and choose, and it's still the same positive energy. But I'm generally spreading it anyway, so I don't even know why I just said that.
No, I really respect that answer, because everyone's like wants to change something, but you feel like where you are today, you couldn't have done it any better or worse, right? So, all right, so we reached that point in the episode where it's rapid fire. So I know you're a man of many words, but first thing that comes to your head, okay?
Damn.
Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi.
Advil or Tylenol?
Advil.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Top 3 rappers of all time?
You're a piece of damn, that's hard, man. That's really hard.
I'm putting you in a box.
Okay, Eminem for sure for my first. God damn, J. Cole my second. Oh. Jay-Z my third.
Jay-Z, okay. What rap song can you recite word for word if your life depended on it?
Run Rabbit Run by Eminem.
So you had an all-star team that you can play. So you're on this 5-man roster. Okay. You can choose 4 players from any point in history of any time in NBA, international, any other league. Who are the 4 players?
Basketball or hockey?
No, in basketball.
Okay.
Who are the players? And then we'll do hockey too. Okay. So basketball.
Point guard. God damn. Magic Johnson. Shooting guard. I gotta go with Kobe. Sorry, Jordan. Small forward, gotta go with LeBron. As much as
all Lakers so far.
Well, I mean, I guess so. Power forward, Tim Duncan. I love you. And center, Shaq.
Okay. Or pretty much a Lakers spur. Okay. And then your top hockey team.
Oh, of course. Well, so Leafs are my life. Shout out to my Leafs. I love you guys. And honestly, my top first line would be Matt Sundin at center, because he's basically the reason why I love hockey so much. And the rest is just, damn, that's hard. I never actually thought about this.
All right, that's cool. That's cool.
Dude, hockey is so hard.
Just clone Sundin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, clone Sundin and probably throw a bit of Gretzky and Lemieux somewhere. I don't know.
All right, Just Rain or AK Amazing?
Oh man, I can't do that. Both are really great talents. But in terms of, I guess, dude, I can't even do that.
It's all right. That's cool. That's cool. It's
both.
Favorite place you've traveled, local or international?
I mean, Canada's beautiful. I still have to travel a lot, but favorite place so far, just because of family, India.
Favorite book you read or are reading?
101 Simple Truths. Shout out to Humble the Boy.
Favorite song right now that you're listening to?
Of course, Eminem's album.
Okay.
Favorite song out of the album so far might be Greatest or Kamikaze.
Okay.
Or Lucky One.
All right. Who's one person or page that everyone should go right now and follow on Instagram or check them out?
I want to give a quick shout out to 2 pages or people. So EPH Elite Performance House, that's run by Avi Sohi. This gentleman just grinds, and he's passionate about what he does, and he's a fitness coach, and he does a lot for the community. And yeah, like I just respect his grind. So shout out to Avi. And secondly, there's a mental health page called Soch, SOCH. It's run by 2 amazing women named Jasmeet and Maneet. And if you want to get some good tips on mental health and how to preserve your own mental health, and they actually have sessions this upcoming month, I believe. So every month they have sessions on, they educate about or just spread knowledge about certain topics. And if you want to go check them out, go ahead.
Sweet.
And of course RCT.
Hey, favorite Saturday morning cartoon when you were young?
Oh boy, that's a list, dude. There's I used to wake up at, I think, 7 Looney Tunes.
Yes. Most influential person on your life. There might be multiple, but first person that comes to mind.
Top 3, I guess.
Yeah, sure. You could do top 3.
My uncle at a young age. He passed away when I was a kid, but he was definitely he's one of the biggest reasons I am who I am today. And Eminem, of course, and Kobe. Mental discipline. That's where it starts.
If you could go back to a single point in your life just to revisit it, what day would that be?
As a kid, probably my first trip to India with my uncle.
Nice.
Definitely.
If there was a movie on your life, what would the title read? And then I'm gonna ask a follow-up. HP. And then if they couldn't get you to play you, but like what celebrity or even non-celebrity could capture the essence of you? Doesn't have to be a lookalike, but
honestly, man, I'd keep it diverse. I'd love to see Freeman, DiCaprio, a couple of my own stars from my culture.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just individuals who, of course, can get deep into character, of course.
Yeah.
Be philosophical.
If you could have coffee with anyone from any point in history, dead or alive, who would it be?
My uncle. Without a doubt.
If you could be any animal, what would you be?
Lion. Well, I'm actually a monkey. Really? In my house, my siblings actually call me a monkey because I actually make monkey sounds when I was a kid. Just for laughs, I do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely a mixture of a monkey and a lion. So,
if you name a song that when you hear it puts you in your feelings.
There's many. There are
You listen to it and you think about the girl in the sandbox from grade 2, and you catch feels.
Damn, no, there's a lot of those too. But I mean, something that pops out of my head just based off the questions, "Going Through Changes" by Eminem. That was a song that really helped me be introspective and all that great stuff.
All right.
And Run Rabbit Run.
Yeah. If you were stranded on an island, what 2 things would you want with you?
A book. Well, a library, to be honest with you.
Library, okay.
And food.
Okay. What style did you rock that you look back now and wish you never rocked?
God damn. Oh. I'll be honest with you, man. My mom picked out my clothes as a kid, and damn, there's some harsh pictures out there. I had some fuzzy sweaters that I don't know where. Man.
The worst is when I was in school and like my mom we used to get like those full roots, like the sweater and the pants, and then the thing is they were hitched. And the first time some kids like, "Why is your pants hitched?" And I didn't know what hitched meant. And then I asked someone, and I'm like, "I don't want to wear this anymore."
Yeah, I mean, no, I actually like I look back at them. I was a very animated kid because I used to watch a lot of Bollywood movies.
Yeah,
and so that's basically that. But I don't know. I guess when you look at my childhood pictures, I'm too busy smiling in my pictures that
you didn't care.
Yeah.
When you die, what would you want your biggest legacy that you leave behind to be? So like when people remember Harman, who would you want them to remember?
Oh,
like what would you want them to say about you?
Oh, I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. I love this about myself that my personality puts me in a position where nothing needs to be said. Like when you know me and you meet me, or when you see me and you really know me, nothing needs to be said.
Wow, I like that.
If I love you, I genuinely love you. I'm gonna love you to the fullest. If I don't, I
can't always be put in words.
Yeah, man. And also, like, I don't think I've ever had a negative encounter. Like, well, actually, like, yeah, I might have, but like, you know what I mean? Like, my positivity is so much louder than any negativity.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to emotions, like anger and stuff, I have a lot of discipline towards my anger, and I've learned to keep it expensive. And yeah, I mean, I'm just positivity and love is my thing.
So lastly, if you could put a title to the current chapter of your life right now, if it was a book, what's the title of your current chapter?
This is actually a great question because I put this towards myself with this past year, but it actually is still going on. There's actually a lyric from Eminem's song that I know you know. But you know the lyric goes, trying to feed and water my seed. So basically right now
trying to feed and water my seed.
Try to feed and water my seed plus teeter-totter. And what that really means to me is the fact that look, right now I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to grow as an individual, grow with my surroundings. So that's trying to feed my seed, and I'm teetering-tottering because of course it's the imbalance.
Yeah.
That's what's really necessary.
I like that. Yeah. All right, so you survived rapid fire. So now it's that point in the show where it's guest corner. So I know you already did some shout outs, but it's your chance to shout out anything, shout out you, and any last thing you want to say.
Well, I guess the biggest thing I want to say is for everybody, please, students, start a school year, please trust your intelligence and stop being so hard on yourself. And anybody else, just if you hear this, whenever you're hearing this, I hope you smiled at least a couple times. And if anybody ever wants to, big thing. If you know me personally, or you just know me based off this, and you're going through something that's mental health related, please reach out to me. Please. It's a personal passion that I love talking to people about and I know being vulnerable or talking about yourself is hard and all that, and I truly understand that. So I'm not really going out there headhunting like, hey, you come.
You have a problem.
Yeah, exactly. At your own convenience, comfort, all that great stuff. But I'm available. So please.
Sounds good. All right, man. So usually I just conclude, or you guys know that I conclude, but what I like to do is give my guests a word of encouragement. Okay. Not because you're fishing for it, or not because you know, it's just something I want to do, but it's because I know that you guys are hardworking, you're doing your own thing, and you know, CP24, like 9GAG's not picking up everything you're doing, because one of my biggest things on the show is that we might be micro level influencers by the world standards, but we're doing macro and powerful level things,
especially internally.
Yeah.
And I want to put that out there right now too, in the sense that Matt, you could tell from weekly episodes, but you know, internally you have a drive. And that's your drive. You know what I mean? Like you've put it on you that, hey, look, this is me. Yeah. And I'm not doing this for revenue or anything like that. This is genuine passion. And that's what matters, dude. And I hope this gets bigger and better for you.
Appreciate that, bro.
That really, dude, like, come on. This is all you want. Like, and to anybody else out there who's really grinding right now, naturally, please stay on it. You know, I mean, I hate to be so cliche, but Gary Vee says it too. Like, dude, love your dirt. Love the dirt that you're in. Go get dirty. And right now, like, I have this conversation with one of the close people in my life, and you know, they told me, you know, right now we should be busy investing in ourselves, and I hell agree with that, dude. Yeah. And the rest is just bonus.
Yeah. See, this guy won't even let me give him a word of encouragement. He's just gonna try to encourage me all the time. But what I love about you is how positivity flows through everything you do. And I mean, like, that is like, you know, like with Iron Man, there's the arc reactor. Like your arc reactor is positivity. So I big you up for that. You can see that. I don't even have to know you personally, but like even from the way you text and everything, like positivity is you. And it's the thing is, they don't just have to be a word, but they can be embodied by people. Like, I don't just like defining things. I like seeing people who live those things, and you live that. So if I define positivity, it's Harman.
Thank you.
When I asked you to describe, you know, what you did, you didn't go to the conventional description route, you know, but you went with being positive, which is dope, because like I said, we often attach ourselves to titles, like I am this student or I am this worker, but you're like, I'm passionate about positivity. And most of the time when you go up to someone, you're like, hey, what's going on? What program are you in, and what job are you doing? You didn't really put that at the forefront. You put who you are. And one thing I like messing up people with now is when I see them, someone here did it the other day at the house. They're like, they didn't ask, what are you doing? They're like, so what are you passionate about? And like, they're asking it to my sister, and she's like, well, I work. And he's like, no, what are you passionate about? And it's just like, we're not ready to answer that question, right?
I'll be honest with you. I'll give a little bit of credit to my best friends out of that too, because I look at my circle, man, and nobody really gives a damn. Sorry if I'm not allowed to.
Sorry.
I cuss a lot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a damn about what you're doing. It's just about, okay, look, do you understand where you are? Do you understand your potential? And you know, like, and I'm grateful for my friends to always accept me. I'll be honest with you, because like I could be perfectly lonely, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm grateful for the fact that there are people that say, okay, dude, he's a weird as hell, but I'll stay with him. I'm like, all right, thank you. So I love him unconditionally.
And lastly, bro, something that, I mean, you've always been down for the show. You've been supporting it. And not even just like, it's not even about a like kind of thing, but like you genuinely letting me know, like, I like this, whatever, you know, give me tips on this or whatever. But like, I feel like in everything that you're doing, you're making investments in people that I know you're not necessarily doing for selfish gain, but I can definitely see that that's going to kick back to you. And not in the sense that you need that, but I feel like, it's Gary Vee always talks about bankrupting kindness. And when you do need something, you got a ton of people on your back because you've given them out of free, something free, instead of just being like, I'm going to do this, but I'm expecting something else. I know you're not expecting it, but bro, it's like, it's there. No, it's coming. Like, it's already here.
The universe is gonna give it. Is that
but I mean, like, maybe one day we'll get our tuition paid back because of your positivity, right? No, but Harman, I just wanted to thank you for being on the show today, and just thank you for uplifting our guests and even me, bro. Like, you're the second recording today. I'll be honest, I was a bit tired. But I feel like much more energized, especially after this. So, Harman,
I appreciate you, my man. Thank you so much. I wish we can go longer. I can talk all day, but you know, also for the people who listen to this, and if you're driving or anything, if you're having a bad day, and I hope this is post mid-afternoon so I can say this, but
yeah,
you have 24 hours in a whole day, everybody. And I mean, I'm guilty for not living by this because I know I should be more disciplined towards this, but you know, don't let your whole day go wasted if you're having a bad day. So, and I mean, please smile, because that's what I love to see. So by the end of this podcast, if you listen to the whole thing, or at one point, I hope you smiled.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
Thank you.